bringing Jordan Spieth, the PGA Tour Player of the Year. Congrats on that.
Hey, thanks, Dan. I appreciate it.
What do you get for that? Big trophy?
Yeah, you get a nice trophy, and it goes down on, I think, your Wikipedia. Something like that.
Paulie, would you check Jordan's Wikipedia to see if PGA Tour Player of the Year is already there?
It might be early for that.
Okay. Now, this is a serious question. Will you have to add on to your house for the trophies you've won? Is it something like, do you display them all?
No, I actually the Masters and U.S. Open ones are in my closet right now, and they're next to the jacket. There's a Masters trophy that comes with it too, and they're in my closet right now. I don't want them out. I kind of want to just hold on to them in my room.
Do you but I could see that you're going to have a lot of. I'm sure Tiger. That's why he had to buy that big house, because he had all those trophies.
That's why.
Yeah, that's the reason why Tiger bought that big house. He had all those trophies. Did you take time off?
Yeah, well, I've taken a few days off, and I'm back at it now because we have the President's Cup this week, so that'll cap off the season, and then I'll be able to take a good amount of time after that.
I don't know if you saw the article. Jaime Diaz was talking about your greatness, but can you sustain it since you don't overpower a golf course, the par fives, like Jason Day does or Rory McIlroy? Any validity in that of that you're a great short game and you're intense when you play? Can you sustain that over a career?
Hard to tell. I don't see why not. There's going to be plenty of things written about that you can't. There's going to be plenty of things written that you can, said that you can't, said that you can. For me, I believe I can. I mean, we've been able to do it for going back to junior golf days, that same intensity and work ethic, even with, everything that's come from success on the course, whether it be financially or the people recognizing you everywhere. I still have the same drive. It doesn't change it from my perspective, so I don't see why it necessarily would.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Short game and intensity is what I would want throughout a career. Guys can hit it far, but they don't have a great short game, or they sort of lose interest during a round.
Yeah, and being healthy too. I mean, my swing, I believe, although it's not technically perfect, I know it, and it's not going to get me hurt. I'm not. There's nothing in it that is going to cause injury. A lot of guys are very proficient in their swings, even the guys that hit it really far. So as long as you're not doing anything to harm your body, and then you don't do anything dumb off the course, I don't see why my career couldn't last for quite a while.
When's the last time you did something dumb off the golf course?
Well, that's a vague term. I mean, I love playing other sports, and you could get hurt pretty easily doing that. But probably recently, you just got to be careful when you do decide to whatever it is play basketball. I don't want to stop doing what I want to do. What I love to do, which is sports. But I guess you got to watch it.
Basketball, your second best sport?
Baseball was, but you got to have somebody to throw it with. And I'd swing under it every time if I was trying to hit it now. But basketball, I certainly like that. It's in my family. My brother plays in college, so we get to play a lot.
Can you dunk?
No. Gosh, no. I can grab the rim, but I can't dunk. That'd be a good goal for off-season training, but maybe a tennis ball.
What is tougher, hitting a baseball or a golf ball?
Probably. It depends on who's pitching, but probably hitting a baseball, I would imagine. It's moving, it's spinning, it's dropping. As far as hitting a golf ball exactly where you want from 265 yards with wind conditions or whatever else, that's not easy. But I'd still probably argue that, at least for me, hitting a baseball is harder.
He's Jordan Spieth, the PGA Tour Player of the Year, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Your Cowboys, how you feeling here?
A little rough. Sucks. You lose a couple key players. We're going to get some key players back on defense, but I think we need to win one of the next couple games before we end up playing Seattle. We need to win either the New Orleans game or the New England game, in my mind. stay with a winning record there and not feel like the games after are win or go home.
What were you like after the Atlanta loss?
I was playing that day. It was a noon game, and I teed off at 2 p.m. It was a 1 p.m. Eastern game. I teed off at 2. So I got to 17, and I hit my tee shot on 17, which kind of sealed the deal once I hit it in the fairway there. And so I was able to kind of smile, walk up, and I asked my caddy, Michael, I said, Mike, what happened with the Cowboys? Have you heard anything? And he goes, yeah, they won. And so I'm like, no way, really? He goes, no, I actually have no idea. And you got to be kidding me. And so then I walked over immediately to one of the guys holding a microphone and asked him, and he thought they had won too because they had heard kind of the halftime score.
Oh, no.
And I got done, found out they had lost, and that was the only bad thing that happened that day.
Okay, but what if your caddy knew, if Mike knew the Cowboys lost and you still hadn't wrapped up the Tour Championship and you got to 17, you said, hey, how'd the Cowboys do? Would it have been okay for him to lie so you would have been in a good mood and continued to concentrate?
Yes, I think that would have been – we joke with each other enough, it would have been okay. And I would have actually taken it as serious, and I think it actually may have helped me. I probably shouldn't have asked. I probably wouldn't have asked if it hadn't been wrapped up in my mind.
What do you think of microphones on the course, listening to everything that you say to your caddy and vice versa?
I like it. I think it adds a little to it. I think I'm glad that they don't pick up on everything you say walking in between shots. I'm glad that you just pick up on the reactions. We all are pretty good at holding in what we really are thinking after a bad shot, at least while the microphone's there. I think it'd be actually really interesting for players to be mic'd up for an entire round, and I think there'd be an interest from a certain audience that want to hear. I mean, wouldn't you want to hear what Tiger's saying throughout the entire round while he's playing?
Oh,
good,
yeah.
bad, whatever.
Oh, yes.
I mean, there's certain interest there that would add a little bit of excitement.
But would you be willing to do it, Jordan?
You don't really want to wear a microphone, and you want to just kind of be in your own element and not worry about anything else. So as an audience, yeah, I think that there would be big interest in being mic'd up more, but it'd be tough to convince the players.
Would you do it?
Here and there. Certainly not all the time. Definitely not in the majors. But I think it'd be cool to try it sometimes.
Did your parents ever try to kind of slow you down a little bit with your competitiveness, or that you get frustrated, or your approach to golf?
I don't think they tried to slow down competitiveness, but certainly control it to not overdo it and be annoying, or to be, and maybe I am, but to be
unprofessional.
Yeah, unprofessional, exactly, and that's just part of maturing as a person and as an athlete. And I had plenty of conversations with my dad where I didn't behave the right way on the course, and he was watching, and not only would it have helped my golf, but more importantly, he just said you just shouldn't act that way. But as a competitor, and you see it, and you probably have had it yourself, just growing up, if you don't like to lose, you're going to express it different ways, and you've got to kind of learn what is the right way to get over it, to move on, and to be better going forward.
By the way, I have the same golf simulator you do in my man cave. I've been killing it, the par 3 7th at Pebble Beach. Yeah, I've been killing it.
You picked the easiest shot on the simulator.
Well, I'll go toe-to-toe with you, the par 3 7th.
All right.
One shot, $1,000.
It's a little too much for me, Dan.
All right. I realize you're a little down on your luck this year. I know that.
You've been doing your gig a lot longer than I've been doing mine. Come on.
All right.
No, I'm in.
Okay, what'll make you nervous? Because I want to make you nervous. How about I'll let you host this show. If you win, if I win, I get to caddy for you in an event.
Wow, that's like taking somebody's job away from them.
No, he gets to keep all the money. Mike gets to keep all the money. I don't. I'm going to make you better, but I'm going to let him have all the money.
Yeah, that would make me somewhat nervous. I also wouldn't mind seeing you on the bag. I mean, that'd be pretty funny.
Then don't be putting stuff in the bag either. I know the old trick where you load it up.
I wouldn't, but other people would.
I know they would. They'd be putting like weights in there. I know how it works.
It's funny. The Jason Day's caddy, Colin Swatton, spent. I want to say he started throwing a couple golf balls in. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it was golf balls that he'd throw in, because we played with Jason so many tournaments in a row, and he didn't tell him, and he told me, but I didn't think much of it because we've got a bunch of golf balls in there anyways. But at one point, Michael checked a different pocket from the ball pocket and found that there was like 30, 40 golf balls in there, and found out that it was from Colin, and he'd been doing it over 3 or 4 weeks. It was a good laugh when we figured it out, but that doesn't happen too often. But those guys are good friends.
Congrats on the year. Good luck in the President's Cup, and good to talk to you again, Jordan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Anytime, Dan.
All right, that's Jordan Spieth, PGA Tour Player of the Year.